This has got to be the weirdest title for a Shyamalan movie I think I've ever seen. Like, Wide Awake. I mean, no one is sleeping in the movie. Like, what gives? Hello, everyone. My name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to the Shyamalan Project, where I will be covering every M. Night Shyamalan movie I have yet to cover in honor of Knock at the Cabin coming this February. I've already covered Praying with Anger. That review will be linked in the eye in the right-hand corner if you would like to check that out. But for right now, let's talk about Wide Awake, which is the first movie that M. Night Shyamalan did with an actual production company, in this case, Miramax. This movie tells the story of a young boy named Joshua. He is going into his 5th grade at a Catholic elementary school. At the time of this movie's beginning, his beloved grandfather has passed away due to bone marrow cancer, and he takes the loss very hard. So he uses that as motivation to find God and basically, in the words of the hurricane, say, while Praying with Anger was M. Night Shyamalan's very first film as a director, this is his first film in the true blue Hollywood system. This was released in 1998, and the next year he would be doing The Sixth Sense. We all know what happened there. This is part of that forgotten duology of Shyamalan films, because people think that The Sixth Sense was his first film, and it's the film that made him as we know him, but this and Praying with Anger, Wide Awake and Praying with Anger, are the two movies that got him started in Hollywood. I had heard very things about Wide Awake. I even remember seeing Chris Stuckman's review of the movie, and he loves Shyamalan, so it wasn't exactly a ringing endorsement. However, I went into it with an open mind. I was able to find it on Hoopla, of all places, and I watched it. And maybe it was because my expectations were so low, but I was surprised at how much I enjoyed this one. It's not perfect. It's clear that Shyamalan has developed his style in more ways than one, and it shines here. But the heart of the movie is in the right place, and I really did enjoy this one. Firstly, I really liked the little boy that they got to play Joshua. His name was, and I'm going to get it right, Joseph Cross, and he did a really good job. He does, and this is one of my negatives, he does have several moments where it's clear Shyamalan is giving him big words to say, and it doesn't really work for a 5th grader to say these things. But overall, I really did sympathize with the kid. Losing a grandfather is very hard. Trust me, I've lost both of them, and it hurts to this day. So immediately, I felt so sorry for the kid, but I'm close to all of my grandparents, and so just that love, it felt good with me. That's all I will say. And Cross did a really good job for as young as he was. Two of the biggest actors that I recognized immediately were Joshua's father, played by Dennis Leary, of all people, and his sister, played by a young Julia Stiles, who would eventually go on to be Nikki in the Bourne trilogy. I said trilogy. They ended after Ultimatum. I don't care what you say. And I know that she was in 10 Things I Hate About You, but I have not seen that. Even though she is on the poster, like a lot of the poster, Rosie O'Donnell honestly is not in the movie all that much. She is there, and she does have her good moments, but I guess maybe she was big in late 98 in terms of popularity, so it was advantageous to have her on the poster, but I don't know, it was a weird choice because she has a bit of a smaller role than I was anticipating. Again, good, but not in the movie much. Also, it's pretty obvious that the movie was shot and takes place in Philadelphia because that's where Shyamalan grew up. So much so that Rosie O'Donnell's character is pretty much like my good friend Phil from Phil Talk Sports. Like, Philadelphia sports just runs through her veins like he does. I don't know where this movie stands in consideration for faith-based movies, but this has got to be one of the better faith-based movies I've seen in recent years. I've seen a ton of crappy faith-based movies in my life, specifically from Pure Flix. Keep the Kendrick brothers away from film cameras. Thank you. But this one is one of the better ones. I love how the movie doesn't give easy answers to what Joshua is dealing with whenever he goes to a priest or to a nun and say, what's God's deal? They're not like, oh, he's a man of the sky, and something cheap and an easy way out. It's not that simple. And I like how the movie deals with that. And it doesn't deal in easy answers. I like that. I like the spirit of that. Another negative, now thinking about it, along with some of the weird dialogue, is some of the portrayals of actual mental health and something that actually happens to one of the characters, specifically Joshua's best friend, David. He actually ends up having epilepsy and actually goes into a seizure in the movie. I don't know how to feel about that because they were actually making fun of a kid who actually had mental health difficulties, and then this happens to him. I don't know, it just felt weird to me, especially in 2022. But if you were to tell me that I'm sitting here giving a positive review to Wide Awake, I wouldn't have believed you, but here we are. I'm going to give this a great rating. Am I being a bit generous? Yeah, a little, but for a faith-based movie, it's one of the better ones I've seen in a really long time. The acting is mostly solid. It looks really nice. It's pretty short at only 90 minutes. I give this one a big recommendation if you have not seen it. It's honestly one of Shyamalan's better movies, and I know what I say when I say it, but that is the truth. So what did you all think of Wide Awake if you have seen it? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read what you have to say. And in the timeline after this, Shyamalan would make it big with Sixth Sense and also Unbreakable, and I've covered those in separate videos, and if you'd like to check those out, they are already on the channel. So I'm going to be leapfrogging those two for this series, and instead I'm going to be jumping to the first film where people said to themselves, maybe this Shyamalan guy is not really all he's cracked up to be. It's 2002's Signs. But if you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and if you like this video and you want to see more like it, hit the subscribe button and click the bell to allow notifications. That way when a new video drops, you'll be the first to know about it. My name is Ryan Cam. I'll see you in the next one.